want to welcome you to the Coach Chennis Berry Show. It is the inaugural Benedict College Football Show. Coach, welcome. We appreciate you being here.
Glad to be here.
Glad to have you on for our Benedict College Tiger fans. And, of course, it's presented by the New Creation Construction. So we want to say thank you to them for allowing us to be able to be here and talk about BC football.
Absolutely.
All right, so listen, we're talking about a couple of days away from kickoff. You got to feel good about this.
Oh, man, I'm super excited. The guys are super excited. I'm sure Tiger Nation's super excited. So we can't wait to get it on September 4th.
Absolutely. All right, so preseason camp has been pretty good, I'm sure. I know it's been a hot one, but tell me how things have been going.
I'll tell you what, we're very pleased with how things have come along. You know, the most important thing, we're healthy. And that's the most important thing. You know, guys have been flying around competing on both sides of the ball as well as our special teams unit. So we're happy where we are. But, you know, we have some improvements still to get to. But at the end of the day, I think we got a very good football team.
All right, and I know we're going to be looking out for some players for this coming season. Can you tell me about a couple of them?
Tell you what, we have some guys. I'll start on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
Everything starts with the big guys up front. And, you know, I think we got some guys that can really make some things happen and make some holes and create some holes and open up some pockets for our quarterbacks. So we'll start with the guy that's probably been having the best camp, and that's our senior, Dejuan Duncan. He's been having an amazing camp. He's been playing guard and a little tackle, and he's been doing a really, really good job up front. Our center, Mitch Romick, he's a transfer center for us, and he's been the leader, the quarterback of the offensive line. So we're super excited about him, as well as B-Mac. B-Mac's another one of our centers. He's been in the program for a long time. His name is Brian McNeil, and you know, he's done a good job with leadership. So we're super excited about him as well. And then let's go to the quarterback position. You know, Eric Phoenix, lefty out of Savannah, Georgia. You know, he's a 6'3", 200-pound guy that can spin it. You know, he can make every throw. He can run. He's a dual threat. And we're excited with his leadership and how he's really developed as a quarterback in this offense. And you know, you're always one play away. So we've developed another guy by the name of Nate Hart. He's a transfer quarterback from North Carolina Central University. And we're super excited about him because he's a dual threat as well. He's dangerous with his legs, and he also can make every throw. So, you know, we're excited about those guys at the quarterback and O-line position. And when you're talking about the running back position, you got to be able to run football. And Davon Smith, he's a bright star. You know, this young man, he wears jersey number 1, and he can tote it. He can tote it, and then we're super excited about the camp that he's having, not only as a football player, but he's just a talented leader. I mean, this kid is a guy that was just voted as team captain amongst his peers. And, you know, it's a guy that's he's got exceptional talent, but he's also a great leader. So we're excited about Davon Smith. And big back, Jayden McLeod. We call him big back. And, you know, he's about 6'2", about 225 pounds. And he can dot the I and cross the T, man. So we're super excited about him. And then let's go to our tight end positions. You know, our tight ends I tell you what, we got some really, really good ones, and we're super excited about a freshman that we signed out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. He's about 6'3", about 260 pounds, and his name is Kyle Aldridge, and he can really get it done. He's a talented individual. He can run, he can block, and you know, we're super excited about his future. And again, he's a freshman, but he plays big, and you know, I'm super excited about him. But in our wideout position, you know, you got to be able to stretch the field vertically, and we got some guys that can really do that with length. 6'3", 6'4" guys that can really stretch the field vertically. And we'll start with Chris Williams. He's a guy that came to us from Georgia Military Junior College down in Georgia, and he came to us in the spring, so he's been able to go through the spring season as well as training camp and learn our offense. And you know, we're super excited about Chris because, like I say, he can take the cover off the roof, so we're fired up about him. And then Jayden Thomas, he's another guy that came to us in the spring. He's another 6'2", 6'3", wide out that can stretch the field vertically as well as get open on intermediate routes. And you know, our slot receiver, our number 1 slot right now is Darius Fallon. They call him DP. He's another transfer for us, and he's from Miami, Florida. But he played at FIU, and he's in our graduate school program, and he's a talented guy with the ball in his hand. He'll be wearing jersey number 3. And, with those guys on the offensive side of the ball, those are just some of our standout guys. We're super excited about them. We think if we can put the ball in their hand in space, especially those wide outs and those running backs and things of that nature, I think they have a chance to have some explosive plays.
It looks like the offense is pretty well taken care of, but of course you also need that defense on the other side.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it starts with the big boys up front again. I always got to start there with those guys up front, and we built this program with O-line, D-line. That's what it's all about. You got to win in the trenches, and you can't start it without talking about Wendell Bing. A kid from right here in Columbia, South Carolina. And I truly, in my soul, feel like Wendell Bing is an NFL prospect. He's 6'3", 300 pounds. He is really, when he makes up his mind, he is unblockable. We're working on his conditioning still, but you're talking about an awesome young man. You're talking about a guy that's been in this program through the ups and the downs, and he really loves this program. He loves this community, so we're super excited about Wendell Bing. And we have 2 transfers that have really made a lot of noise in practice, and we'll start with defensive end Aaron Miller. He transferred to us from Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's from Atlanta, Georgia area, and you're talking about a guy that can come off that edge and cause some havoc. So we're super excited about Aaron Miller, and I can't leave the D-line without talking about Lubert Donales. Lubert Donales is a transfer from Southeastern University. He was freshman of the year in their league before he transferred, and you're talking about an explosive football player. He can play inside, he can play outside, and he's done a good job of wrecking some shop in our practices, so we're excited about Lubert Donales and those guys up front with the defensive line. And then let's go to the linebacker position. There's another guy that received the most votes for our team captain today, and that was Tim Allen. He's been in the program. He's jersey number 17. He's been in the program a long time, and he not only leads us on the field, but he leads us off the field as well. And he's a big linebacker. He's 6'3", 235 pounds, and he can run and he can hit you, and he's basically the quarterback of the defense, at least the front 7. So we're excited about Tim Allen. And I would say probably the strength of our entire defense is our secondary. I think we got some guys that can really make it happen. And we'll start with Josh Hayward. He's another 6'3" corner. He can run, he can jump, he can cover, he can press. He's a talented individual, and I think he's another Sunday player. No doubt in my mind. He's a South Carolina young man, and he's been doing a great job in camp and really giving us an amazing look in terms of our receivers. Those guys have been competing, big receiver against big corners. They've been getting after it. And if we go to the other corner, Kevin Ross. He's another kid that came to us last spring, and Kevin is a talented individual. He's another 6'1", 6'2" corner that can pressure. He's aggressive. He's one of those confident football players. So we're excited about our corners out there on the island with Josh and Kevin. And then let's go to the back end, to the safety position. And our free safety starter right now is Fern Romero. Fern Romero's had a really good camp. He's like the guy that's back there that polices it all. And he's another kid that came to us last year. So he's been in the program for a year now. He's done an awesome job, and not only being a good football player on the field, but he's been leading us as well. So we're super duper excited about Fern Romero. And then let's go to the Dantavious Hunt. He was preseason all SIAC. He's been in the program for a long time, and he's one of the guys back there in the back end that can really make it happen. And those guys have been really getting after it. And I'm gonna definitely end it with JP. He's been awesome. I tell you what, he has been an amazing secondary guy. Kilpatrick, man, he's been getting after it, man, and I'm super excited about all those guys in the back end.
Okay. You mentioned one of the 2 players that was named in the SIAC preseason All-Conference, which one is Dontavious Hunt. You have another one as well. I believe it's your punter.
Yes, Eubanks. He's a special talent. He's probably one of the better athletes on our team. I mean, if you see him walk in the room, he doesn't look like a punter. I mean, he's about 6'2", 210 pounds, and he's athletic. He leads us in sprints, man. He's just a really good athlete, but he's an exceptional punter, so we're excited about Eubanks.
No, that's a good thing. All right, so the preseason poll came out for the SIC, and Benedict is picked 5th. How you feeling about that?
Well, that's the beauty about the game of football. Mm-hmm. The game gotta get played, and the ball's got to get kicked off. So we're super excited about that. We're okay. They can pick us 5th, but at the end of the day, they're gonna have to see us.
There you go.
Absolutely.
That's all about. All right, this, of course, again, is the inaugural Coach Chennis Berry Show. Benedict Tiger Football Back with more after this. Of course, it's brought to you by New Creation Construction.
People have the power to make a lasting impact through acts of kindness, compassion, and strength. They inspire us to innovate and educate, to do more than we ever thought possible, to help you be your healthiest you. Prisma Health, inspired by you.
Welcome back to the Chennis Berry Show here with Benedict College Football. We are talking about an inaugural show. We want to say thank you to New Creation Construction for allowing us to be able to come into your homes or wherever you are right now to check out what's going down with BC football, which is coming up on the cusp. But when I talk about that, we also got to talk about a spotlight player. You mentioned him just a moment ago, but give us just a brief again because we're going to see something about this guy.
Tell you what, Wendell Bing, he is an exceptional young man, first and foremost, and he's a dominant football player. You're talking about a young man right here from Columbia, South Carolina, C.A. Johnson High School, and he's been a leader on the field, off the field, and when he makes up his mind that he wants to dominate a practice or dominate a football game, he can get it done. And I really think that this young man, if he has the year that we think he's capable of having, then he can play on Sundays. He's a National Football League dominant defensive tackle.
All right, here's your spotlight player, Wendell Bing, presented by Prisma Health.
I'm Wendell Bing, I'm 24, I'm from here, hometown, Columbia, South Carolina. I grew up 5 minutes down the road from here. Think about me, I went to elementary school, middle school, high school, and college in the same area, literally right here on the strip of a street. I started off at playing football when I was 12 at my middle school. So I really started taking football seriously when I got to high school, when I turned 14, when I felt like I could really play football and I felt like I could really lock in and focus on it. But at the same time, that's when my life actually started because I was a father then. I was 14 with my first child. Didn't know nothing about it, but, things happened. So I was motivated through that. Went through high school. About 15, I started playing, having good, made all region my first year. My senior year, graduating, I ended up with 126 tackles, 34 tackles for loss, and 22 sacks as a senior, making all-state. I had 2 Division I offers. I ended up taking South Carolina State. Long story short, what I thought was there wasn't there, so I kind of was like, forget it and left. So I got a call from Benedict. Coach said, we want you to come play. I said, right down the street, I might as well go. So I came in, started as a freshman. Everything was going high. I had high hopes. Real proud of myself. Came in the first game, dominated, tore my ACL, halftime. Worst time of my life because I had to actually sit down and think about life. Like, did I want to do this again? And I had to watch everybody play. I had to basically learn the game all over again, and understand why this happened. And so I went through my sophomore campaign, came back out, had a pretty good season, and then when you thought all hopes was well, tore my ACL again in junior year. So it really was like a decision then. That's like a life decision. Like, are you going to keep going out here doing this to yourself or are you going to keep going? So I sat down, talked to God, prayed about it. I went to the doctor. I said I wasn't going to play no more. Then the doctor stopped me. The doctor said, well, how about you try this again one more time? I said, you know what? I'm going to listen to you this time. So I went in, I got the surgery again, came back out. I feel like I played a pretty good season in 19, even though the bad record showed as a bad record. Had a little couple complications or anything, but, then I graduated with my bachelor's, so that was the greatest accomplishment in life. I feel like I accomplished a lot. And then from there, I felt like, coaches got fired. I said, well, I'm going to get up out of here. I'm going to transfer, go get my master's somewhere else. Then in February, Coach Berry came in. Coach Berry looked at me. Me and Coach Berry had a little talk. I really didn't, because I had a good bond with my coaches, so I really didn't listen to Coach Berry. I was like, I don't know Coach Berry. Coach Berry don't know me like that, so I ain't fooling with Coach Berry. I'm going to go somewhere else and play. So Coach Berry hired Coach Henry. Coach Henry came and started talking to me. Said, I ain't listening to Coach Henry neither. I don't know Coach Henry. I ain't talking to Coach Henry neither. I don't trust him. So Coach Berry gave me a promise. Coach Berry gave me his word. He said, I'm going to do this, that, and this and that for you, and we're going to see how it go. So I said, whatever, Coach Barry, I ain't listening to you. One day we came in the spring, started going to a new facility training, and I was like, oh, okay, you might be doing something. Still don't believe what you're talking about. So, he gave us some workout gear. I said, okay, you doing what you're doing. Okay, now let me listen to him a little bit. So we started going through that. He started talking to me, seeing I could play. He said, Bing, I can make you All-American, you just listen to me. I said, you know what, I'm going to take it for your grain. I'm going to listen a little bit. Started getting closer to Coach Henry. Coach Henry said, just do what I asked you to do. I can get you to the next level. I said, man, I ain't listening to you. Then I started listening. And now we in the position we in now. I got high hopes. I got high potential for this football team, and I hope the best. The sky's the limit.
We want to say thank you to our sponsors of the Chennis Berry Show, New Creation Construction, Prisma Health, Department of Health and Environmental Control, Lexington Medical Center, Advantage Sport and Fitness. Thank you for supporting Benedict College Athletics. Welcome back. It is the Chennis Berry Show, Benedict College Tiger Football, and it is brought to you by New Creation Construction. Right now, we know, Coach, that you can't do this thing all by yourself.
No.
I mean, it's like your voice right now sounds like you're a pastor. That's probably it. Hey, get up there, player. But you got other coaches that help you out with this.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about some of them. Let's spotlight one.
I tell you what, just having a great coaching staff, guys that make you better, that's very important. But let me talk about Coach McCander Dejuan. He goes affectionately by Coach Mac. He's our co-offensive coordinator and offensive line coach, and it all starts up front, and he does an amazing job building the morale with those young men. He works them, they love him, they play for him, but he's a talented young coach that I think has got a bright future. He was with me as my tight end coach at Southern University, so I saw his passion, I saw his talent, I saw all the things, the knowledge that he had, and what he poured into the game of football. So when I had this opportunity to become the head football coach, it was not even a second thought that I was going to bring him with me, but he's a talented young coach, and I think he's got a bright, bright future.
All right, here it is. Coach Mac, Spotlight Assistant Coach, is presented to you by Lexington Medical Center.
A little bit about McCander Dejuan. Well, first and foremost, I just want to thank you guys for having me on the show. Definitely means a lot. I want to thank Coach Very, not only for the opportunity he gave me, but allow me to be on the show as well. I'm just a young Haitian kid from Fort Pierce, Florida. Then I was born and raised in Fort Pierce, Florida. As I got older, we transitioned from Fort Pierce to Port St. Lucie, which is the next city over, and that's where I ended up graduating. I was able to play 3 sports there. Going into my last couple of years, I mostly focused on football, and I focused on wrestling, and those 2 sports really helped, change my whole life and my whole aspect of just how I think, at the end of the day. A couple things happened at the recruiting process. I ended up at D. Weber International University. Go Warriors. Proud alum. I was able to be a 4-year starter on the offensive line. I ended up finishing my last 2 years as a starting left guard. I started my first year off as center, and then my sophomore year I was at right guard, and I transitioned, finished my last 2 years at left guard. At Weber, I was able to gain numerous accolades. I was able to be a 2-time first-team all-conference selection at offensive line. I was a USA College Football first-team All-American in 2015. I finished the NAIA coaches second-team All-American. I was able to get on that list going into my last year, and then going into my senior year, I was actually a preseason All-American as well. Had numerous bowl games, but I decided I wanted to get right into, the world at the end of the day. I thought it was time after college to hang up my cleats. So going into my first year, I was able to become the tight ends coach there going into that summer. And I spent 3 great years at Weber International University. I was able to learn a lot of football. I was able to grow as a young coach. I coached everything on offense. I started off with the tight ends, worked a little bit with the receivers, worked with the running backs, the fullbacks, and I also worked with the offensive line. Going into the 2019 season, I was blessed from the opportunity from Coach Dawson Odoms to be part of the Southern staff in 2019, where I was the tight ends coach, and learned, I was surrounded by such great coaches from offense, defense, special team. And it's what really helped my career project the way it's going, being around those coaches, because they pushed me to be better at a young age because they knew I could be special. Coach Berry took me under his wing while I was at Southern along with Coach Leone, who was now the offensive coordinator at North Carolina Central. But I just give a lot of praise and a lot of thanks to Coach Berry, because as soon as he got this job at Benedict College, he wanted me to come down and be his offensive line coach and his run game coordinator. Being able to have Coach Berry here be a mentor for me, but also be the head coach as well. He was able to help me every step in the process now, and I know he will continue to in the future. But now I am the co-offensive coordinator here at Benedict College. I'm also responsible for the offensive line, and I take great pride in that. At the end of the day, being the offensive line coach and the co-OC here at Benedict College. It's been an honor, and I'm just forever grateful for everything Coach Berry has done for me. My boys been looking good. You know, they've been building that camaraderie that you need, you know, because at the end of the day, we stress to them. You know, we call ourselves the gauntlet at the end of the day, so we're protectors. We have the 5, we're protecting the 6 stone, which is the quarterback, and we just building that camaraderie, you know, that you need and that cohesiveness that you need, because at the end of the day, we always preach we're better when we're 5 as one, all right? We preach we're better when we're 5, play as one at the end of the day, and that's what you need to be successful. The game is won in the trenches and the offensive line, and within this program, we believe the offensive line and quarterback are the driving factors within the Purple Rain at the end of the day. So a couple of guys that stood off that's been playing really, really well, man, just been leaders within the group is obviously we have Dejuan Duncan. He's going in as our guard and tackle. He's playing both right now. He's been giving us just amazing effort. That's taking his game to another level. DJ Jenkins, he was here for us. He's going to a sophomore year. He's our starting left guard. He's been having a good camp. Mitchell Romick, Brian McNeil, just to name a few guys that have been really practicing at a high level that I'm excited to see, because I know when they step on the field, they will have success.
In our state, team rivalries run deep.
Sometimes our fans might not always agree.
With South Carolina.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
It's time to come together off the field.
Together, we can beat COVID-19.
Vaccines are safe and effective.
And they're our best shot at victory.
Don't wait until it's too late.
Learn how to protect yourself and your family.
At scdhec.gov/vaxfacts.
Protect your family, your friends, your neighbors, the people who care for you. Save a life. Wear a mask.
Welcome back to the Chennis Berry Show. Of course, it's all about Benedict College football. So glad to be able to do this show. I want to say thank you to our sponsors for making it happen, New Creation Construction. And get ready, because coming up, we got a big game against Allen University. Back in 1966, we played it, and we won 12-6. 55 years ago, Coach. Ball's in your court now. What do you think about Allen?
I tell you what, I'm super excited to be able to get this game rocking and rolling. We were able yesterday, I tell you what, it was awesome. We had 2 members from the 1966 team come and greet our team and talk to our team. So that was awesome to see. But we're excited about it. It's great for the community. It's great for the alumni base. But at us, it's just the next opponent, and we're super excited to get it on at 6 o'clock, September 4th.
Absolutely. What are some of the challenges you think your team is going to face against Allen?
I tell you what, they've been putting their program together for a few years. So they had some young guys. They started with young guys. Now those young guys are now older. And, I think they're returning 2 quarterbacks that have played. So they try to throw it around the yard a little bit. And our defense has to be ready to not only stop the run, but defend the pass as well. And then on defense, they got some guys that can fly around. They have a free safety that does a great job. Not only he plays free safety, he plays a little corner as well. So I think he does a good job on that back end. And they got some guys up front that can make it happen. And they're returning their leading tackler, their leading defender in terms of pass breakups and interceptions, and they're returning their leading sack getter from a year ago. So, I tell you what, we have our hands full, but we'll be excited about that opportunity to be able to go against Allen University.
Well, it's all important to have that 12th man in that stadium at Tiger Stadium, Charlie W. Johnson. We got to get those seats filled.
Absolutely.
Encourage folks. Tell them why they need to be there.
We are ready to welcome you to the jungle. I tell you what, it's a new day at Benedict College. You need to be there to see what we have in store. But I'm super excited. We have to pack it. It's a 10,000, I think, or 11,000 seats stadium. We want 11,000 screaming fans in there as we challenge and go against Allen University. So again, go get your tickets at www.benedicttigers.com. Let's get it. Go Tigers.
Benedict.edu. You can even get them at the ticket office on Laurel Street. Many, many ways to grab your tickets, but the one thing you got to do is get those tickets and be there for this big game. Benedict versus Allen. First game of the season, first inaugural show as well. Coach Chennis, we welcome you to South Carolina. We welcome you to Charlie W. Johnson with your team as they get ready to get that gridiron going.
Excited to be here. Let's get it. Go Tigers.
Also want to say thank you to Coach Berry, and make sure you watch this every single week. We're going to be coming to you as well to give you insight and also stories that you won't get just watching that game, but also some behind the scenes stuff that goes down for you too. Want to thank our sponsors too as well. We appreciate New Creation Construction and also Lexington Medical, Prisma Health, and all those others who are on board to make this thing happen. All right, we appreciate you, Coach. We thank you too. You guys have a great time. We'll see you at the game.
Thank you. Go Tigers.
We want to say thank you to our sponsors of the Chennis Berry Show, New Creation Construction, Prisma Health, Department of Health and Environmental Control, Lexington Medical Center, Advantage Sport and Fitness. Thank you for supporting Benedict College Athletics.